Hey, Ari Altman here from the Tech Buyers Guru. Going to do a quick review of the new Roccat Khan Aimo headset. This is a headset that is coming in at $120, and the big claim to fame is its intelligent lighting system. Now, there are a lot of headsets on the market that have RGB lighting. What Roccat is saying is that this RGB lighting, which you can kind of see here on the headset and then up top, is that it reacts to what you're listening to or playing or viewing. In my testing, the most I could say is that the color cycling kind of increases in speed when there's a little bit more action or a little bit more of a beat. I would have liked to see something even a bit more intelligent. The question is whether or not RGB lighting on a headset is really all that effective. This lighting is fairly, I'd say, pretty subtle. It's actually a little hard to see even. And of course when it's on your head you can't see it. So it's not quite as interesting as like a reactive mouse or even a reactive keyboard, which I think is probably most interesting. Now the controls are very limited. It's got a flip down boom mic. It does mute when you've got it flipped up. It's got a very, very small dial for the volume. I'd like to see that a little bit easier to reach in a pinch. And it's got a button here that actually, I have no idea what it does. I looked in the manual, couldn't see any information. I don't see anything in the control panel. I have no idea what this little button does. So that's the extent of the controls. I should say that this is mostly made of plastic. It does have a metal headband. Interestingly, it's a little hard to pull out at the end, so when it's on your head, I felt it was a little awkward to adjust. And like I said, the rest of this construction is all plastic. The best feature I think of the construction is these kind of leatherette ear cups. They are soft and pretty comfortable. I like that a lot more than sport mesh that some headsets have. So I'm going to jump into an audio quality test of the microphone because that's actually one of the things that Roccat has really staked its name on here with this new headset, that it captures the male voice in particular better. In other words, it has better bass reproduction. So let's skip to that microphone audio test. I've switched over to the Roccat Khan Aimo so you can hear what this microphone sounds like. I'm going to go over the basic settings in the Swarm interface. You've got your equalizer, of course. You've got a number of presets for various game modes that you're probably familiar with. And then down in the lower left-hand corner, there's something called instrument mode. I assume that actually means music. This may be kind of a mistranslation of what that was really referring to. You also have surround settings like 7.1, which of course is enabled by default. And then you have some microphone settings, which I just left at default for these tests. I'm switching over the illumination menu here. Of course, you have your Aimo, intelligent lighting system, and then all the other standard kind of settings you'd see in other RGB headsets. One thing I'm a little concerned about is that there's really no interaction here for the user. You don't see what it's doing, and you don't have any control over it. I think if you own something like the Khan Aimo mouse and the Soro Aimo keyboard, and you had that whole kit working together, you'd actually see more of what was going on. The headset on its own, I'm just not really sure what to say about this RGB system. Is it intelligent? It's a little hard to know because you can't see what it's doing, and this interface doesn't give you any feedback at all. So it's kind of like, there's not much to do here. So overall, I wasn't that impressed. Now I'm going to switch to some other headsets so you can hear some other mics. All right, this is a quick test of a microphone on my HyperX Cloud Flight. This is a $160 wireless headset that I recently reviewed. You can be the judge of whether or not you like the sound of this microphone a little bit more than the Roccat Khan Aimo. One thing I will say is that the microphone on this is a little bit easier to position because it has a boom that is basically infinitely adjustable. It's a really nice feature of this headset. On the other hand, the boom doesn't flip up. You actually have to remove it if you don't want it right in front of you. So overall, you can be the judge of whether or not this sounds better. And I'm now going to flip to a Logitech headset to give you one more comparison point. All right, this is the last headset I'm going to be demonstrating here. This is the microphone on the Logitech G533 gaming headset. This is a wireless headset. It actually also has built-in surround sound similar to the Roccat Khan Aimo. It was released at $150. It's now below $90, and so I view this really as a budget alternative. Given that it's wireless and 7.1, it's actually a pretty amazing value, but you can probably hear the microphone's not quite as good as the other two. And in fact, the audio quality of the headphones themselves aren't as good either. It uses 40mm drivers. All right, I'm switching back to the Roccat Khan Aimo to give you my conclusion. Yes, indeed, the microphone does sound better. I think you can be the judge of that just from hearing it.
In terms of sound quality through the cans, I thought it was about the equal of other headphones with 50 millimeter drivers, which is to say, it's fine. But at $120, this is a pretty expensive kit, and I'm not sure the RGB effects on their own really add that much over everything else. So given the price, I give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.